knew from experience that this could only be bad. I began to rack my brain for things I may have posted on Facebook the previous night. And if you know how much time I spend on Facebook, this was a lot of thinking. But nothing came to mind. The walk to his office may have been the longest 10 steps of my life. And suddenly I felt a slight resemblance to that of Terry Malloy. That I would be speaking to you all here today, I was overwhelmed. I was shocked, and then I was somewhat traumatized. Don't get me wrong, I feel honoured to be here in front of you all. But when Mr. Foister said I couldn't do a song and dance, I don't think I've ever been so positively gutted. Mr. Foister, I know I told you explicitly that I would not shake it like a Polaroid picture. But I lied. This is Haileybury, a musical. No. Unfortunately, we have not yet graduated, and so I thought it would be a wise decision to instead convey my entire schooling experience to a captive audience through a lengthy speech comprised of highly personal anecdotes. Quite personally, I prefer my previous preference. However, the speech must go on. It's usually in speeches and presentations like this that I would leave it to the very last minute and pull something ever so witty right out of my behind with only moments to go. Well, this was no exception. Yes, there I was last night at 12 o'clock writing this very speech, this very word, and may I tell you, I've never been prouder. So as I try and read you this speech amongst the various coffee stains on my page and the slight dribble from an unsettling slumber, you all enjoyed hearing it as much as I enjoyed writing it. I live on a farm. My dad is an alpaca breeder. My mum a beekeeper, and tonight I can't go home because there are approximately 4 billion bees swarming my house. I'm from Berwick. It was 11 years ago that my parents, Marianne and George Summers, thought it would be a nifty idea to send me to an all-boys school, in an all-boys class, with nothing but one other girl and about 20 boys. Either they knew the school would give me more opportunities, experiences and memories that I could keep forever, or they wanted to marry me off early to one of the very ugly and manly 2 boys. Wow, a class full of boys. Clearly, I was too young to appreciate such a privilege. If I had my time again, I would know who would sooner pounce on such an opportunity. Being the oldest girl at Haileybury, and being here for 11 years, and being the oldest girl to graduate thus far, stop it, I've hardly known anything different. When others had to endure that awkward first day at a new school in an awkward new environment, I was that annoying, overly confident student that had already been at the school for far too long. In fact, being only one of 2 girls in a class at Haileybury in the year 2000, getting introduced to a possible new female student was the most exciting concept for a little red Madeline. In fact, so exciting that when Kirsten Fisher was introduced to me on an orientation day as a possible new student for year 2, she found herself to be a little too overwhelmed, or shall we say, downright horrified at my enthusiasm. Kirsten did, in fact, not find herself coming to Haileybury until 6 months later, and as she was, and I quote, scared of the little round girl with blonde blood. Shall we say nothing's changed? Being out in the sticks, I've never felt that I've missed out on anything at Haileybury, but rather benefited as my peers and I have simply gained the best of both worlds. Not only do we get to have a tight-knit community, or rather a home away from home at Berwick, but we get to experience the excitement and smoke of being at Keysborough twice a week. Variety is the spice of life, my friends, and in this sense, Haileybury life for me has been like a hot Mexican burrito. taught me some pretty amazing things. Yes, it has taught me to read and write, but certain things can only be learnt the hard way. Lesson 1. Look up before you run into a wall and have a mild concussion to have Mumsy come to school and pick you up. Lesson 2. When the class takes up sewing, make sure you pay full attention so you don't sew your entire quilt to your winter skirt. Lesson 3. Before you decide to upload a life-size picture of Daniel Radcliffe naked to the projector screen in front of the entire year, think of the consequences. Lesson 4. When a teacher gives you the most flattering of compliments and tells you just how bright you really are, don't then follow by letting them know that you in fact put on your pants backwards that day. And finally, lesson 5. If you hear the following dialogue in your home, start to question the unconditional love of your parents. Madeline, if you receive over a 90 enter score, we'll buy you a MacBook Pro and an iPhone. Charlotte, what are you saying? Don't worry, Marianne. We have nothing. And maybe lesson 6. Never let you know me Naomi run your party. Life lessons. Teachers, I know you hear it all the time, but I left my thank you note at home. I'll email it to you tonight. That's if Haileybury Online ever gets its activity. But really, what would we do without you? You deal with our endless complaining, our strenuous stressing, and the 100 reasons why we didn't quite get around to finishing that maths assignment. I think I speak on behalf of everyone when I say you aren't just our educators, you aren't just our teachers, but our friends, second parents, and role models. And I wish I had a more creative and sentimental way to say the phrase, thank you. Thank you for turning and shaping us into the people we are today. And let me tell you, we're pretty fine-looking people. Also, I think it would be selfish and ungrateful of me to completely disregard the role of my parents. Only in the past couple of days have I come to realise the sacrifices my parents have made to send me to this ridiculously expensive, prestigious, and I hope that you are all extremely grateful towards your parents. We all owe them our endless gratitude for starting our academic lives so wonderfully, and tonight we'll have the opportunity to thank them fully. Honestly, I joke about coming back to school next year, chucking on my school uniform and simply throwing the books in the bag. But the thought of leaving Haileybury is that daunting for me that this is quite seriously a plausible notion, and Mietta McDonald, I know you have my back in this. As we watched previous years of Haileybury graduate before us, I think we can all say that we never thought it would be us. Our time always seems so far away, so far to even be properly considered. However, here we are, graduating as the class of 2010, and by tonight, we will all be old Haileyburyans. My time at Haileybury has been like a box of chocolates. Far too overpriced and hardly anyone in the classes. But really, Haileybury, you have not only enabled me to achieve my dreams at the highest level possible, you've provided me with a home, with brothers and sisters, with parents, and with a continuous and everlasting feeling of care and attention. Wasn't funny. I don't just see Haileybury as a place that gave me too much homework or a jail cell of any kind, but as my safety net and my perpetual and enduring place of pride. Let me now make a promise. Wherever my life may lead me, and right now, let me tell you, a Woolworths representative is looking pretty damn dandy. I will never feel embarrassed, I will never feel ashamed, and I will never hesitate to say that I'm an honoured, delighted, and proud Haileyburyan.